Hold on. Test. I am on, ladies and gentlemen. Your boy Sal in the building right now. Let the people slowly come into the building. What's going on, everyone? Shout out to everyone slowly coming into the building right now. Yes, indeed. Let's talk about the stock market. What are you guys looking at? What are you guys trading right now? Come in. Bring your tickers. Let's discuss where the market is headed over the next week. Appreciate you guys. Whoever is in here watching right now. What's going on, Poker Pro? Always a surprise to have me in the building. Let's get a little bit more regular on this. I'd like Monday and Wednesday nights at around this time. Really be able to knock out things that I want to do. And let's just kind of talk about where the market is. I mean, you know, as I said on my Monday episode, that you weren't going to hear a lot about the fact that the GDP numbers are coming out tomorrow. I said that on the show on Monday night, and here we are 48 hours later, and the national business media has not talked about the fact that the most important number in economics is coming out in about a couple hours, right? It was a big deal this time last year. It was a big deal around this time last year. But so far, right now, people are hum on it. What's going on, Ken? You said you got out of Pred, Ken? Makes sense. Yeah, it hit my stop. You know, I 1 hour, 60 minute, 60 minute, 25 moving average. I got to get out. I don't know what's going on. I got to get out. We'll talk about that in just a bit. Let me do my monologue here. Again, just to let you guys know where we are in the marketplace right now. Again, a very important number is coming out tomorrow. That's what traders are waiting on. That's what the market is waiting on. That's why we haven't gone anywhere in the last 2 days. And any attempt to have the market gone higher has basically fallen on, dead ears. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. As you see on the screen, we've got jobless claims coming out, corporate profits coming out Q4. I expect to see a decline there. GDP tomorrow, 8:30. All right. Expectation is for 2.4. They are expecting 2.6. All right. I think we missed 2.4. Obviously, if we miss 2.4, boy, it's going to be a huge red day tomorrow if we miss 2.4. It's going to be a huge red day if we miss 2.4. Initial jobless claims as well coming out tomorrow. Expectation for the 4-week average is going to be 225,000. I hope we see a bigger number there. All right. I am biased to the short side. But there it is. That's where we basically stand, ladies and gentlemen. So tomorrow, big things happening. I can't say it enough. What's going on, Werewolf? Big Zini. What's going on, Poker Pro? Ken, shout out to all the people in the building right now. All right. I know I'm hitting people up real late, kind of surprised. If you guys remember this time, not too long ago, we had what was called at the time the Trump GDP tweet. And the Trump GDP tweet led to about a 12 point run from that September 10th tweet to the high. In fact, he basically got us to the high. And we haven't seen those levels since. Because we hit the high in the market about 2.5 weeks after that tweet. Somewhere around here. There we go. Somewhere around here. This is September, because that tweet came out September 10th. So somewhere around here. And then next you know, he sent us up 10 days, and we haven't been there since. We haven't been there since. All right. That's basically where we stand. More bad news came out on the market today. For those of you guys who didn't see my tweet, I mentioned real estate and how housing sales are now down 9% in February alone. The worst start in nearly 9 months. They, in fact, had to go back and redo January numbers because they were so bad. And ladies and gentlemen, we have yet to see the real estate stocks really show, you know, the bad news in the price. In fact, they're actually running. They actually ran today. It was really interesting to see some of them run today. PHM, I mean, because people were expecting worse. People were expecting worse. But at the end of the day, the decline is happening. The decline is real. And these stocks will eventually correct. Toll Brothers off the top of my head, that bounced today too. So there are quite a few of these home builders around here in the 30s, 40s, 50s area over there that you can take advantage of. And here's a low risk multi-month put situation for very, very cheap. You know, we're talking a $37 stock here. I don't know how liquid the options are, but you know, a 4-month, 5-month option on something like this probably isn't very expensive. Here at the 38, 39s, or even the $40 puts. So this is a low risk trade, being that, again, taking the macro situation into account. All right, but there's risk everywhere. As I mentioned also on Monday, that I was selling the 283 strike. Beautiful call, right? Beautiful call. Now, you know, 2 days later, 3 days later, if you are doing the weekly option, you're practically by tomorrow close, you'll pretty much be at full profit. And unless, again, that number is just incredibly good, you're going to be taking all that, you know, all that credit to the bank right into your account as those 283s, 285s expire worthless for this week. And obviously, if the number's bad, I don't expect us getting back up there even next week. All right. What's going on, Tall Zach? You said Robin Hood did you dirty today. What's going on, man? You know, I've heard a lot about Robin Hood and just the fact that people sometimes have trouble exiting the trade. I've heard that's been an issue. That's also my issue when I used it, when I was testing, when they first started their options, was the fact that the speed for some reason didn't feel fast for me. It didn't feel like I got those kind of instant executions that I now get on Interactive Brokers. But I've been looking to do a small account challenge using Robinhood just because that's one of the most common and fastest growing brokers right now using a call selling strategy, so I can introduce people to how to get involved into options with, you know, $1,000, $500. I think that would be an awesome thing to show. Although at the beginning we, you know, make very little money on that amount of investment, but it could be a great way to show people how to grow an account over time. Again, haven't changed any of these arrows where we talked about what could happen. So now, as you see here, going sideways, we sold off today. The candlesticks are so telling here. The candlesticks are so telling, as you can see here. I mean, we're just topping out, and we got classic topping out candlesticks, dojis everywhere. No clear indication that that bulls are anywhere near in control of the situation. They need some support, and that support is a good number tomorrow across the board in all of those announcements that I showed you just a moment ago. All right, Zach, you said when you made profits, you tried to sell out, get your $60. They delayed my trade. The stock went back down. $60. No, yeah, dude, $60 matters, man. I mean, if you got an account of a couple $100 or $1,000 or less, $60 is a lot, right? $60 is quite a bit of money. You know, what is that, like almost 2%, right, on or nearly 2% of $1,000, right? So it's quite a bit of money. Quite a bit of money. Yes, indeed. What's going on, Ghetto Stock Trader? So you guys give me the ticker of what you guys looking for or what you guys were looking at today. Shout out to the Black Box team. I guess they really killed it. I haven't been in a small cap room in a minute, but they destroyed Aveo today. They absolutely destroyed Aveo today. That was the small cap leader today. If you didn't see it, here was the chart. It was a pre-market alert that came out and actually ended up kind of selling into the morning and in the afternoon. And I don't know what happened, but the stock just kind of came alive at the 2 o'clock hour. Just went completely nuts. Just went completely nuts. And I can bring up the chart here for you as well. Again, huge winner on the small cap side. Aveo, shout out to all those traders. 33 million shares traded. 33 million shares. This is a stock that opened up. Today at 61 cents, got to as high as $1.02. That's insane, man. That's insane. That's nearly 40 cents a share of profit. That's a whole lot of money on a stock that's already dirt cheap. Beautiful day, absolutely, silver by the ounce. Beautiful day for traders who went long with the stock. Look at that volume just kind of show up in there. I don't know if it was a pump or what, but boy, did they bring in the volume on Aveo. They really brought in the volume on that stock. Yeah, Ken came in the chat room. I don't know if he's still in here, but mentioned Pred. What a dump, man. I mean, I don't know what happened. But again, man, when you're dealing with these OTC stocks, and as I mentioned on Monday, when you just can't get a real story behind what's driving the price, what's really got people excited, and you don't really have anything tangible. I mean, this is kind of what happens. Obviously, I do see some kind of laboratory acquisition that kind of drove prices higher yesterday. Yesterday a bit kind of kept us up there. But boy, what a dump today now below, at least on the hourly chart, one of my favorite charts to trade, below the hourly and now below the 50 RSI. So nowhere for me to want to, play in something like this right now. Let's keep looking at what you guys were looking at. Yeah, Pred was up too big, right. So, I mean, I'm looking at the hourly, but obviously on the daily chart, we were overextended anyway. Desert Edge, you said you're going to short Lyft? They're not, are they public? Are they already out? They're not open yet, right? Yeah, I know they got the ticker, but I didn't think they were trading yet. Let me see here. SHIP. Let's take a look at SHIP. Yeah, nice pop on SHIP. And then I don't know what happened, man. They popped, and I did see that alert. But I don't know what happened. I mean, this is just so dangerous, because if you chase something like this, and you just end up holding bags, man, because it just moves against you so quickly. That's why, I just kind of let the first hour of the day do its thing, because so many people just set you up, whether it be individual traders or groups or these little dojos and chat rooms. They're just trying to set you up to fuck you over. So you got to really be careful. Yes, I'll definitely check that out, Corey Kwan. Let's keep it moving. CMG, Chipotle Mexican Grill. Chipotle Mexican Grill up 1% today. Nice move on Chipotle. Entry at 705 with a stop loss. Price target of 850, 187. Okay. With a 5-to-1, basically 5-to-1 ratio. Woo, that's a very generous price target, Shirley Lewis. I mean, not saying it can't do it. It can definitely, I mean, it's headed higher, right? I mean, this is a monster trade. I mean, did you just get into this today? I mean, where we are in the channel, man, this is squeezing people, right? I'm sure we've got some people getting squeezed on something like this. We're at 87 on the RSI. This is, man, this is one that's really going. I mean, look at that. From late December to where they are now, or mid-December to where they are now, you're up 100% in a stock that's already a 3-figure stock. That's quite impressive. That's quite impressive on Chipotle Mexican Grill. You know, obviously the story's got people really excited over there. Grub, time to get April puts. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. As you can see here, put my 25, yep, back below the 25, below the 50. Here's an awesome, in fact, I had used Grub, I think, on my video. The only trading strategy you ever need, as you can see here. What's going on, T. Kelly? A decent moving average got you into this trade and has been making you money for a very long time in Grub. As you can see here, kind of bounced a little bit, but now heading lower. And again, these are another one of those type of companies that, again, not profitable, you know, just aren't able to really figure out how to get it together, right? They spend more to acquire a customer than they actually earn on a customer. Companies like Grubhub, they offer all kind of spiffs to drivers to participate, to get them to continue to do the job, because a lot of people don't like doing these jobs. A lot of people don't like doing these jobs. They don't want to deliver food. Most people who do these jobs, if you went up to them and you said, hey, if I gave you a $50,000 job with full benefits, you know, would you do that instead of what you're doing? And most of them would say yes. Most of them would say yes. Most people who are doing these delivery jobs, they're getting these $400 spiffs, these, hey, you make 100 deliveries, get an extra $200. So they're basically, you know, always at the edge of quitting, but the app does something to kind of get them to kind of keep going. All right. And many of them are having to use 2 or 3 or 4 services at a time, gig apps at a time to keep going. Most people don't want to do these jobs. They don't want to do these jobs. All right. And that's why I think in the long run, many of them, although great ideas, I think won't survive as publicly traded companies because the math just isn't there for most individual people for how much they spend making the trips in comparison to the damage and wear and tear they do on their vehicles and what they truly get out of it. What they truly get out of it. Thank you, everyone. You're saying Lyft comes out on the 28th. Yeah, Chipotle is always popping, man. Always popping on Chipotle. Always popping. GSVC. GSVC. Don't know anything about this company. 807. 807. Obviously, somebody's getting squeezed over there. Had to be a decent earnings. Nope, actually, horrible number for earnings, but for whatever reason, 1.6 million shares traded over 100% higher. Oh, GSVC has a stake in Lyft. Oh, okay. Well, they're going to be incredibly rich once Lyft goes public. Those of you guys who watch Gary Vaynerchuk, hope I'm saying his name right, he mentioned how he had an opportunity to invest in Uber at a $3 million valuation. That's incredible. That people get the opportunity to invest in companies, you know, that early. $3 million. I mean, imagine he had put in 100K or $1 million at the time, and now, you know, sitting on the opportunity to go public in the next couple of weeks, both companies, Lyft and Uber, you're talking about, you know, what are they saying the valuation could be? Like 26 billion? Yeah, so I mean, he mentioned, you know, that he missed out on hundreds of millions of dollars by not investing in Lyft and Uber. All right. And there are a lot of stories like that on Facebook too. There are a lot of stories like that on Facebook, how, you know, the Facebook founders had went to, athletes at the beginning, and they went to a lot of people who, hey, this is my idea, and they kind of laughed at the idea of Facebook. What do they mean on the internet? Well, we already have yearbooks, blah, blah, blah. And look what happened to Facebook. All right. There's a really good video on Shaquille O'Neal talking about how he passed up on the opportunity to invest in Starbucks. Starbucks had came to Shaquille O'Neal asking for some money. They were going to give him exclusive access to 100 restaurants, basically when nobody knew Starbucks, and he passed on them. And he said it himself, that could have made him a billionaire. So it's incredible how when you're wealthy, people bring opportunities to you to get you to make more money on your money. Absolutely insane. CTRM, Airbnb is rumored to hit the market. Yeah, they got to go to the market. They got to go. Airbnb, all of these popular apps, they've got to go to the market. They're running out. Again, I made the video on BKLN. They're getting squeezed. They can't go to the private market for the cheap money anymore. The guys who are willing to buy their debt, they're going to safer assets now. I'm staying on top of these things for you people, man. I love reading about this. So they're going to the public because you're the sucker now. You're the sucker now. They can't go to the public market anymore. They're tapped out, or the private market, excuse me. The exclusive wealthy people of the United States. So now they're going to you. And your broker and your pension funds, your police pension funds, teacher funds, they're going to get you excited. They're going to send you a brochure, and they're going to tell you how they're putting the billions of dollars that you worked and saved into these, very, very, iffy assets. Right? And the wealthy will now sell to you. They will now sell to you and cash out. CTRM, scary shit. Yeah, what is this? CTRM, Castor Maritime. What is this? Castor Maritime announces time charter contract. Yeah, it's a really ugly looking chart, man. Obviously, they just recently went public. You said you just wish they have regular investors invest. Yeah, I mean, you would think so, but the problem is, what they need at the beginning is too much for ordinary people to take, right? So to be an Uber and have somebody off the street give you $100, $200, just the management of those millions of individual loans would just be, it just costs so much to manage, to have regular people be able to invest in your business. Whereas I can just go to a bank, I can go to an individual investor and say, hey, give me $100 million. And now I know I only got him to give the money back to. All right. Now, when I'm ready to have the public participate, then I go to the open market by selling securities, right, which give people a share in what you hope to be earnings, right? And that way I can still retain ownership of my business and sell you a certain percentage and split and do all that stuff and whatever it is they run their business, or how they run their company. What's going on, Cali Rob? Yeah, but thanks for bringing up Grub though, because I'm now definitely going to be looking at some possible puts on Grub. And Uber and Lyft, the world is not big enough for both of them. The world isn't big enough for both of them. Somebody else had a ticker in there. What was that? BTF? Okay, I had that. BTFL, Monarch America, some kind of fishing and farming company. Was it 0003 stock? Damn. 0003 to 00. That's a huge return, boy. That's a nice return for that promoter, that crew, whoever had that. That's a nice return on the trips. Nice return on the trips. XLM is now on Coinbase. Shout out to Coinbase, man. I mean, huge drop in usage from where they were, but they're still kicking it, man. They're still offering an incredible product over at Coinbase. Obviously, now they've got competition with Robinhood, and how Robinhood is offering you the ability now to trade cryptos. But Coinbase still making it really easy for people to get into the game. They were the original. They were the original. So you like cannabis stocks, Big Zini? Yeah, I noticed you only put up. That's typically the typical tickers you put up. Yeah, SPXS is a nice one. I mean, this is the triple leveraged bear. This is the triple leveraged bear. All right, so obviously when we do start selling off pretty aggressively, yeah, this is going to be a huge move. You see, here's the move in December when you went basically from 22 to 39. These ETFs do have options, but they're not very liquid. So you better make sure you're getting it at a really, really good price if you are going to trade them. But obviously, yeah, I mean, if you can figure out how to get in at a pop, man, boy, does this thing move. It can move with you or against you real quickly. You see, if we bounced back since the end of December. But personally, I like the leveraged financial FAZ. And this is straight financials. This is the 3X of the financials. Basically, if you like XLF, this is the opposite of XLF at a leveraged rate at $9 right now. This is a great one to get into. Again, if things go to hell, as you can see, that was the move for that stock back in December as well, as you basically practically doubled your money from the low. Practically doubled your money from the low. Keep your eye on Tesla. Yeah, Tesla is in a real iffy situation right now. I mean, obviously their SEC is coming after them. They've got some issues that they got to deal with, right? And that Tesla situation is real. It's a bit self-inflicted at the same time for Musk, but at the same time, you've got some people who just want to see that company fail so bad, man. You got some people who just want to see him fail so bad. And these are people you watch on TV. Jim Cramer hates his guts. There are a lot of people who just hate Elon Musk. They just hate him so much. Because he really doesn't kind of come again from that circle. He's not a guy who's about the street. He's not, he's never played their game. Way safer. You won't see 100% up or down with MJ. That's true. That's true. MJ is real safe right now. I mean, obviously, it's a still early game when we talk about cannabis stocks in general. And I talked about that on Monday. Still an early game. Kelly Rob, did I get anything of that PCG? No, I didn't. I haven't grabbed anything of PG&E yet. Tell me what you see in it right now, though, man. I mean, obviously, we still got to hear about what the judge did approve the bankruptcy. I see that today, right? Damn. Okay, the judge approved the bankruptcy loan. I'm surprised the pop wasn't stronger on that. I mean, obviously now we're kind of bearish below that 50 RSI. Oh, absolutely, Three Hooks. I mean, they just hate that guy, man. They hate guys who just aren't, and plus he's from another country too. Elon Musk is not an American, right? He's South African. So he's not an American. He comes to America. He's able to kind of hustle his way up, getting wealthy people to back his dream. He goes public. He's a billionaire. People just don't like that, man. He didn't really kiss no ass. Right? A lot of people have lost money trying to short his stock. A lot of people are losing money trying to short his stock. So he's got enemies, man. Gene as well. Gene as well. Every time I think of that Tesla, I'm also thinking about kind of Boeing. I mean, these companies that are basically in this legal hot water where you really don't know what could happen. I mean, Boeing, the problem with Boeing is so damn big and so damn profitable that they got the cash to weather what lawsuits could be happening right now and could be coming down in results of this horrible design of this plane. I don't care what kind of fixes they're putting together. Every time I'm flying, I'm going to make sure I'm not on one of those MAX planes. I don't care what kind of fix. This is America. They don't give a fuck. These guys are flying private, having you fly commercial. They don't have their kids on these planes, man. They don't give a fuck. They put the fix out, right? They announced the fix out today. Less than a week later, you telling me you got a fix? Why wasn't it on the plane to begin with? I'm not flying that shit, bro. Fuck that. God willing, Desert Edge. You've been in Facebook since January. 175 call for June. All right, let's take a look at Facebook. Yeah, still in that wedge, huh? Still funneling between that 155, 174. Still kind of figure it out. I was thinking, and that's why I have it still up there. I was thinking about putting together a condor at those levels, but I mean, you'd have to go really months out for it to really be profitable for you. And I'm not sure where this wants to go. They still got to prove it. Obviously, we don't even have the prettiest candlesticks in Facebook right now. I don't know what the confidence is now. Someone said they got 175. I mean, you buy the 175 calls in something like this. Again, this is just murder on your option, man. Moves like this is just murder on your option. You're just eating your premium day in, and day out while you just kind of funnel in between those levels. All right. So when you start seeing stuff like this, you got to make a decision to either sell, calls or even puts on either side of the trade, depending on where you feel you're going to end up winning at. Yeah, it looks like they got a loan, Zach. They got a loan. Shirley Lewis with ODP. I can't believe they're actually still in business. I mean, I know Office Depot. I mean, it's B2B, so they got a better chance. But Office Depot is another one that, I mean, it's a penny stock, so it is just doing what penny stocks do. But, this is another one that is just like, it's only a matter of time for this to go straight online. Believe they were talking about 175 Facebook. 175 Facebook. Someone said buy Facebook at 150. Okay. All right, let's take a look. I'm gonna go back there one more time and look at Facebook 150. Yeah, 150 would make sense. Yeah, 150 would make sense. We're at 165 now. That'd be a nice way down too. Be a nice way down too. Another stock that was pretty hot this week, or today rather, was RBZ. I don't know if you guys caught the move in RBZ. Not the cheapest stock in the world, right? Not the cheapest stock in the world. But another stock today that made a huge intraday move from penny stock territory or sub $10 territory all the way to as high as $38. Up to $38. Sub 10 yesterday, sub 10 yesterday. Today opened at $11.73 to a high of $38.90. Over 300% gain today alone in RBZ. 300% gain alone. And of course, you know, my sponsor caught it, but again, I don't know where I was at this time, but it was another pre-market alert. And boy, just took off as I just showed you on my chart. It just exploded for incredible gains. 7.2 million shares. This is a stock that trades 47,000 shares a day. Today with 7.2 million. Insane volume in RBZ. I don't even know what the story was. All right, I don't even know what the story was. All I know is that this thing looks like it's a Chinese-based play, Shanghai or something. Singapore, excuse me, Singapore. And this thing got up over 300% today. Insane amount of money. Verizon. Boy, Shirley, you love them safe, man. You love them safe. Shirley, are you a millionaire? Because you put up tickers like a millionaire. You put up tickers like somebody who's putting like a couple $100,000 in these trades. Because you put up like the safest tickers. VZ. Yeah, Verizon is just, man, I mean, I don't think there's anybody that comes close to them. They were coming out with 5G in Chicago on April 11th. April 11th, Minneapolis and Chicago, 5G. They already have it out there in Houston, right? Has anybody out there? I know I got some people in Houston in here. Have they already gone and experimented using 5G? Yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, you can't lose on a, you know, if there was a stock that over the 10 years you could put $50,000 and close your eyes in, I mean, Verizon would definitely be one of those stocks. I would do it. I would do it. Yeah, that's a company that gets it right. All right, and companies like Verizon and many of these other communication plays that have huge like customer service operations and thousands of employees, it's only going to get better for them because automation as well as AI is basically going to have them in situations where you're going to call up and it's going to be an automated system, completely automated. You're going to be talking to it like you're talking to a human being. They're going to do everything. They're already doing that on certain aspects, right? You want to activate a line or something like that? Okay. This weird little machine, I'll do that for you. You know, brief moment when I look at your account. And it does what the fuck you wanted it to do. And you're not talking to an actual human being. You know. So these companies are only going to get more profitable. They're only going to get more profit. I can't believe it's not a $100 stock. Now, I mean, this is just not my thing, but definitely a nice company. Oh, 5G's coming, man. 5G's coming nationwide. 5G's coming nationwide. It's going to Chicago. It's going to Minneapolis. You know, I've heard all kind of rumors about what 5G can do to your body and the microwave waves or whatever the hell they're talking about. Yeah, Money Green, exactly. But I mean, we'll see, man. You know, we're already dying. Look what they put in our food. You know, look at what they're putting in the soil, man. So how different is it going to be with phones? Yes, indeed. Last couple weeks to WTI, we've seen over the course of a week and a half, we've seen crude really bounce. Haven't seen that really, move some of the larger stocks. XOM here, this is about to turn over. Crude is about to, it looks like it's about to turn over here on WTI. But obviously we go to mid-cap route. As you can see here, mid-cap still struggling. CRC, a great mid-cap crude play. Yeah. Says Banal was used in a weird way. Okay. 5G was really already out? Wow. Yeah, I mean, look, I know all of these technologies are introduced to society, you know, in a process, man. A lot of these technologies that were already created years ago, right? Were already created years ago. But the powers that be dictate when some of this technology is released to people. You know, we got the technology to have flying cars now. There's nothing stopping us from being able to have those kind of vehicles now to teach everybody how to fly and doing all that crap. All right. But the powers that be have dictated we're not ready yet. Yeah. Let's keep going. DXCM. See what else you guys are looking at, man. Damn, DXCM. Shit. What's going on here? I know some of you guys put up a ticker yesterday that had a trial failure, but this looks very similar. Is this the same stock? I think this is the same play. Is this the same play? God damn, boy. 152 to 115. That's $40 in 5 days. That's a lot of money on the put, man. That's a lot of money on the put. Missed opportunity for me. I don't know about you. If anybody in here had that. And I don't know how liquid those moves are in DXCM. But boy, that's a lot of money. Yeah, food is enough to kill you. Absolutely right, man. Food is enough to kill you. All right. Food is enough to kill you. Yes, indeed. Let's keep it going. Let's see what you guys are looking at. But that bounce is going to be something serious, though. I don't know. I bet. God damn. Yeah, but see, you got people who've probably been timing it. You're still not there. 24 on the daily. Yeah, I love it when it gets to the low teens. If you can get like one more day and it gets to like, excuse me, it gets to like sub 12 RSI, sub 10 RSI. Oh, that bounce is going to be beautiful in DXCM when it happens. Let's see somebody longfin. Somebody brought up longfin. Oh, no, that's not. Let me see here. Oh, yeah, this is garbage, man. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Elfin, man. This is garbage. Hot, smelly bullshit. It's a monthly? Okay. Money Green, what do you mean it's a monthly? Oh, no. People protesting. Remember U.S. Yeah, Taylor John, I remember that. Is that the one... because the Cubans supposedly were using those kind of weapons in Cuba, where they were using these devices to cause U.S. diplomats in Cuba to have like head pains and stuff like that. They were using some kind of sonar or you know, some kind of system to give them headaches and shit like that. It's weird. And it's been long speculated that the Cubans also discovered a cure for cancer. You can Google that too. TMUS, T-Mobile. T-Mobile. You know, at this, I mean, these are good companies. These are dividend-paying stocks, right? They've got real earnings, real solid businesses behind them. I mean, you're not going to get any miracle moves in this. Obviously, I mean, you know, December to April, what a nice move here. Almost $10 a share there. So, you know, but, you know, can you day trade these? And obviously, they're quite expensive stocks. So, a skilled swing trader can make great money in stocks like this. Can I explain RSI and how to spot it? Well, I do know RSI is relative strength index, and The exact definition I can't spit for you, but I use RSI to basically determine how strong the trend is. You know, that's how I use RSI to determine. Um, I'm thinking of a stock that I know has very high RSI right now without looking. Well, Wayfair was one of them. And it helps you kind of determine where, you know, how strong a move has been, how strong a trend has been. And what you notice in stocks is that when you have very high RSI, you can't have very high RSI forever, right? And traders, just like you and me, have emotions, and we get sensitive when stocks have gone, you know, what we feel to be too high. And typically at that point, you'll see RSI levels at 75 or higher, right? And at that point, that's a great opportunity for you to step in and short at those levels. And also in the opposite, when you have stocks that have sold off too far and are too cheap and have moved so far down so quickly, those are opportunities for you to go in as a bargain shopper and make really, really good money, you know, buying low. But as we've pulled up charts here before, low RSI is not always 100%, right? You get some of those sub 10, sub 15 RSI plays that have a way of sticking there for like 2 weeks before they actually kind of come out of that gutter. We've pulled up tickers like that before, and typically you'll see that in penny stocks and tickers sub 10, sub $25 a share. You won't see that a lot in stocks that are over $100, right? Stocks that have valuations over $1 billion, you would very rarely see that. Those almost always have a very healthy bounce after a huge drop. Facebook is a very classic example of that. Facebook was, you know, here's that Facebook. As you can see here, it got to, you know, sub, I think it was at that low point. What was that? That's 27. All right. So almost every time for some of these plays, you can, you know, pick them right off the floor and be a buyer there. If you remember the sexual assault situation that Wynn had, Wynn was another one. Here's Wynn, right? Got real low. And as you can see, sometimes it can stay low for a while and you can be a loser for a couple weeks, but eventually you're going to get the move. You're going to get the move. You just have to really time yourself. You just have to really time it. And that wasn't even that low. Here's a daily chart. That wasn't even that low, but you could probably see it. If I go to the hourly, do we get an hourly? Let me get the Kettler channels out of there. There we go. You're really going to the hourly. So, you know, you just have to really kind of time it. Yeah. DXCM, yeah, money green. Okay, that was a monthly. Okay. Yeah, DXCM is going to be one of those. DXCM is going to be one of those. Again, multi-billion-dollar valuation, right? $10 billion. Obviously, that's lower than what it was a couple days ago, right? The stocks lost $50 a share, so that market cap was probably, I don't know, 17 or 18 billion a week and a half ago. But as you can see here, you know, kind of trending sideways, right? So let's zoom in, and this is the hourly, where we're starting to see people starting to pick this up now. Here's the candlesticks you want to look for. Here are the candlesticks you want to look for. All right, let's zoom in even closer. Let's go. I don't want to go too close because then here's all right, 15 minute. All right, 15 minute. All right, and you start to see, you know, some of this kind of movement here. This is kind of what you want to see. And then eventually you're going to get a nice pop in this 15-minute chart that will eventually lead its way up through the time frames, and eventually someone like me on an hourly will see it and think, wow, that's a nice move. But this is basically what you want to look for. DXCM, nice move headed higher here. So people are accumulating here. DXCM and buying. And this is where you can make a very low risk trade here, right? You come in at 115 with a 110 or 109 stop. Give yourself some time on it, and you know, hopefully, if it goes in your direction, you can get a $5 or $6 pop higher from where you are right here. But see, Corey Kwan, he's saying DXEM has internal issues and it's overvalued. All right, so of course you got to know what the whole story is. You got to know what the whole story is. But, you know, we can show you a lot of stocks that are overvalued that got problems. You know, I just pulled up the chart for Wayfair. That's another one, grossly overexpensive. You know, Netflix is another one of those. All right, so there are a ton of companies out there that have issues. But when we're talking about, again, a short-term bounce being likely, it could very well happen. We could very well see DXCM a couple dollars higher next week, and we'll be here for it. We'll be here for it. Yes, indeed. Somebody said STMP. Yeah. And I just got done talking about these plays, you know. But STMP, yeah, we talked about STMP on the previous show. I mean, this was, and I actually posted something about it. Like, I thought it was a complete, you know, there was some little insider trading going on here because it was as if somebody knew it was going to happen. AVGR, let's take a look. Yeah, Stamp is not going to, because basically what happened to them was basically a failure of their business. I mean, the deal they had with the post office was basically the lifeline of their business. So that Stamp, yeah, they don't have any reason to pop. AVGR, up 7% today. Yeah, here's another one. You know, but again, penny stock, 90 cents a share. All right, 90 cents a share. And then here I talk about how, like, you know, when it comes to these penny stocks, you know, these fundamentally are very different businesses to companies that, you know, have billion-dollar valuations, right? Or whole different scales. So these sometimes don't pick up as quickly as you would see maybe a stock that's a $200 play. As you can see here, this is January, and here we are in March. I mean, it's taken 90 days. Quite a return, though, right? I mean, we can't lie. Quite a return. I mean, from 20 cents to 90 cents, right? 20 cents to 90 cents. You know, you've made over nearly 500% on your money. Nearly 500% on your money on AVGR. Can I check out Ford for you? Let's take a look at Ford. Let's take a look at Ford. All right. Yeah, never really been a fan of this stock. Never really been a fan of this stock. Right now, I see we're kind of funneling here between 820 and 9. We still got to figure it out. I mean, this, you know, we're 3 months into the year, almost 4 months, and we haven't gone anywhere. And there've been a lot of stocks that made a lot of moves, a lot of big moves, and Ford hasn't been one of them. Ford hasn't been one of them. All right. But what's your idea, Poker Pro, on Ford? What's your idea here? Very, very slow stock, man. Very, very slow stock. What's going on, Jeff? You bought the stock today at the dip, made 5,000. God damn. NXPI, let's take a look. What's going on, Blue Cousin? NXPI, let's take a look. Let me see. NXPI, yeah, this is a semiconductor play. Semiconductor play. NXPI. Yeah, this stock can move, man. This is another stock that has that just huge implied volatility. You know, the options are very expensive because the stock just really, really moves. Kind of like, you know, I don't want to call it NVIDIA, but it's very much like a baby NVIDIA. in the making. Obviously, you see this is turning down here. But these are the kind of plays that can really catch you slipping if you're not careful, because they can turn around in a heartbeat. Because they can gain $3-4 in a day. And if you don't know what you're doing, you can really, really get hurt by a play like this. Yeah, very much kind of like NVIDIA, kind of one of those, right? That really swings hard up and down, going through cycles. Those companies have been really affected by what's been going on in China and the China deal situation. Obviously, for a lot of these companies, their manufacturing base is in China. Many of their customers are in China. So they've been affected by that. Here's NVIDIA, nice crawling out of that kind of funnel area that I've been following NVIDIA. So now sitting on top of 176, but having a little trouble here. Having a little trouble there. And by the way, if you just won't go with an individual stock, you can always go with SMH, which basically gives you the sector-wide play, SMH, for semiconductors. So all great tickers to know right there. We Trade HQ, what is that? Well, what is that? We Trade HQ. Never heard of it. Meet, learn, we traders worldwide. Social media platform. Okay, there's always another gimmick. We trade. Okay, community. They teach. Okay. How much is it? Yeah, as long as people aren't sucking each other's dicks in the chat room. That's what I don't like. I don't like dick sucking, you know what I mean? Where it's like one guy who's like, hey guys, I made 15,000 a day or 25,000 a day, and everybody's got to suck his dick. I'm not a fan of that shit. SRNE, okay. Ford owns 3.2% of Lyft. Oh, I didn't know that, Poker Pro. I didn't know that. SRNE. Yeah, I mean, if you guys, those of you guys who've been here long enough, I used to interview guys who had their own like little training things, their little websites where they're teaching people how to trade and shit like that. And it's all just a big old dick sucking fest when you sign up for those kind of things. So if I mess around with the program, it's got to be a program that's all about making a trader individually better, and not like guru worship. You know what I mean? I'm too old to be doing that, that cocksucking shit. No, I don't know anything. No, they have a page of live streamers. Okay, yeah, I don't know anything about We Trade HQ. No, sir. No, sir. SRNE 471. Who you said? Somebody said they made it. Okay, Jeff. Yeah, nice move on that, bro. That's a nice move. That's a really nice move, man. SRNE, nice play. Oh, wow. Oh, God, that's a beautiful trade. Look at that. Beautiful trade. In and out. Wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Holding my moving average on the hourly. Beautifully. SRNE, get in, get out. Keep doing your thing. I'm really looking forward to seeing what, Lyft does. Look, I'm hoping for the worst tomorrow. I'm hoping for capitulation. I'm hoping for a bad number. I'm hoping for a sideways number. I'm just hoping for a number that shows that there's no justification for us to continue to go higher. That's what I'm hoping for. Because at the end of the day, man, that, these large cap stocks, that's slow money going higher. Going higher is slow money. It's for people who already got money. That 1%, 2%, not 2%, but 0.5%, 0.10%. If you got $1 million, in a stock, 1% move in the stock, that's a really good day for you, but you're working with 10, 15, 17 a trade, 25 here and there. You know what I'm saying? I want this shit to go to hell. 'Cause that's where I'm really going to make money. That's where I'm really going to make money. Oh, Javier, really? My video was there? Who put my video in there? I don't know how they're using my videos. I got to check that out. It's so funny because like 2 years ago, I had to take this channel. I had to flag this channel. And it was this guy who had like all my videos, but he had different titles on them and shit. Like people thought it was like my channel. It was weird as fuck. This guy was like literally taking every video I put out. He would rename it and post it on his page. It was like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? TLT entry. TLT. All right, so that's a nice little bond ETF. TLT. Yeah, people are running the security. So why not this go higher? Well, I didn't know this moves like this. TLT moves like that. Shit. Okay. Shout out TLT. I didn't think they moved like that. What's going on, Jason Epps? Lyft is selling 30.7 million shares to the public. Yeah. At $70 to $72 a share, boy. Can you imagine how rich you're going to be? Can you imagine how rich you're going to be if you were a guy who went in at $3 million, at $10 million, at $30 million valuation? They gave you a couple 100,000 shares. At 12, at 15, 20, 25, or less. Dollar General is full of calls. Absolutely, man. I mean, you can go to Dollar General now. Go to Dollar General now. Obviously, going into one Dollar General doesn't tell you the whole story about the economy, but yeah, those are great businesses to have, and I've talked about that a lot. Great businesses to have in your portfolio during a recession. People will cut corners everywhere they can, and 99-cent stores and Dollar Generals and Family Dollars are the first places poor people and working class poor people go to find value, right? Because they can really stack up on things that they need at, of course, $1 each. All right. You say everyone will be eating there. Well, a lot of people are going to end up there. Absolutely. Absolutely. Try going to figure out, okay. Are we in a recession? Not yet, sir. But the data is becoming more and more conclusive that we're headed in that direction. And again, tomorrow at 8:30, we're going to find out even more information to let us know. Even more information to let us know. All right. Again, I think I put it in here. There it goes. GDP, we'll find out tomorrow at 8:30. Jobless claims, corporate profits. I'm also looking forward to that. Initial jobless claims. So all that comes out tomorrow. And as you can see, that's the full bull, the four bulls right there. That's the most important thing we're looking for right there. That GDP, Q4 GDP. That's what everybody's going to be looking for. Man, I can't imagine. Yeah, I told people, when I moved to New York and, I couldn't find anything at the beginning. In between me working at John Thomas Financial, which was the boiler room, that ended up me getting into penny stocks. But that's another story I've told here on this channel. And I think I got a video up about my experience at John Thomas Financial, which was a pump and dump shop. And I didn't even know it was a pump and dump shop while I was working there. But anyway, because I didn't know what I was doing was a pump and dump. I ended up working at CVS for a week. I worked at CVS for a week because I just needed a check. You know those jobs where you work just to get to the check, right? And then the first check, you're like, as soon as I get the first check, it's just going to keep me going. Has anyone had that experience before? I know somebody in here has had that experience before. So I was in their little cycle where it was like, okay, when I came in and when I left, I was going to get a check. It wasn't going to be a full one. It was going to be everything I needed to get, like a pass, train pass and some other shit. But while I worked at CVS, man, it was a bitch, man. Stocking, you had to stock the drinks like a certain way, and like the Coke products have to face a certain way. And me, I'm like, I don't give a fuck, man. Just put it on the shelf. You know what I mean? Just fucking put it on the shelf and fuck it. But the manager's like, no, you got to do it this way. No, okay, we're going to do this whole shelf over again. I was like, man, fuck you. And I walked out. Man. And I left him do that whole shit, by himself. I don't regret it at all. It was payday. I got the deposit. I was tricking myself thinking maybe I'd do another week. But when I did that whole line of drinks, because I remember it was the Coke products, and then it was like, yeah, Coca-Cola has to be this one, these first two, and it has to be Sunkist or some bullshit like that, and Mountain Dew has to be here. And I'm like, man, just fucking put it up there, man. He wanted me to do it all over again. Like, fuck you. And I walked out. Yeah. Thank God for direct deposit. Because back in the day, I've heard stories from older guys. Back in the day when you quit your job, you had to come in and get your check. And that was real. I can't even imagine, those days now where, you kind of have to face the people you kind of screwed over. But with direct deposit, it's like, man, you can leave the same day you get paid. Fuck it. Say you worked at Popeyes for one day. That's hilarious. Yeah, fast food. Magic Leap, okay. New device for augmented reality. Google owns a majority of them. Will be huge. Oh, absolutely. We're still early for augmented reality, but I'm a believer. I'm a big believer in augmented reality. We're still early, but I'm a big believer in augmented reality. I can't believe you work fast food, man. Fast food is just, and I did the McDonald's thing, early in high school and all that shit. But man, people are bitches when they're hungry, man. When people are hungry, they're fucking bitches, man. And then you'd always get that one person who's like, no lettuce, no tomatoes, no this, no. Like, motherfucker, just take the shit off. Take the shit off the paper. Off the fucking burger, bro. Open the fucking bun. If you don't like pickles, take the fucking pickles off, man. You know what I'm saying? That's me, bro. You always get that guy. Know this, add this, know this, add this. And you got to read the order back to them. And they're like, no, it's not right, man. You got to listen. And you swear you said it back the right way. They're just looking for something to bitch about. Oh, God. And don't even come into work on a day like a fucking bus pulls in. Oh, my God. You're like, fuck. All the fucking restaurants on this street, you had to fucking come here? Shit. I don't get paid enough for this shit. I make what is this? This is 2004-ish, 2003-ish. I make $5.15 a fucking hour. I don't get paid enough for this shit. You know. Oh, fuck. Yeah, man. Those were the days, man. Those were the days. All right. Let me look at some other. Where's some other ones I've kind of forgotten about a little bit today? We haven't even addressed. XLF. I know I brought up FAZ. XLF. The financials. Again, kind of showing a rough time here. Showing a rough time in the financials. You know what's one stock that just keeps fucking going up? Why the fuck? Somebody brought this up the other week. McDonald's. What the fuck are they doing? I mean, I know they're, and I don't mean to cuss so much. I don't know why I'm cussing so much today. Y'all got me started. Y'all got me all in my feelings about like service employment because I just, when you're kind of at that age and you just kind of have to do those fucking jobs. Oh my God. Drives you nuts. McDonald's keeps going higher. And boy, that's a stock that's got a lot of meat on it, right? I mean, I'd love for this, McDonald's to have a crisis or something like that, have like a disease that gets spread through their food or something like that, salmonella, something. Because this is, it's going to be incredibly liquid and you're going to make a shitload of money. You're going to make a shitload of money. Yeah, them burgers got me cussing, dude. Because those are crappy jobs to have because you don't really have a choice, right? Because you don't really have any skills. And the job that I really wanted growing up was to work at Blockbuster. Back in the day, I remember being young, the high school kids, the job they really wanted, all the high school kids wanted to work at Blockbuster because Blockbuster had like the games and the movies. And it was a cool ass place to work. And by the time I was getting ready to, get into it, Blockbuster was falling apart. So I didn't have the opportunity to work at a place like Blockbuster or Hollywood Video and shit like that. I had to do fast food. All right. I had to do fast food. And my first paycheck from my first fast food job, which was Burger King, I bought a PlayStation 2 and I bought Gran Turismo 2. Yeah, that was my first paycheck. That's what I bought. I bought a PlayStation 2 and I bought a game called Gran Turismo 2. Remember, just like yesterday. Cashed the check and went straight to game. Well, at the time it was called EB Games. I think it was called EB Games at the time. Yeah. Yes, sir, Taylor John. That as well as affiliate marketing. You say you still have your Blockbuster card? Damn. Shit. Yeah, WM is another one. But I mean, WM is a necessity, though. I mean, WM is a company that's cash rich. They have huge county contracts, local municipal contracts. In the millions of dollars, man, millions of dollars. Now, a lot of federal regulation does require them to, require a lot of cities to kind of compete and do all these kind of, hey, you got to bid and all that stuff. So you do have, a few smaller, versions of waste management out there, but waste management is the king. Waste management is the king. And in cities where they don't have, or where you have these like no bid contracts, waste management, is basically no competition for anyone else. All right, so they're a cash hog. Last time I looked at their books, they've got so much money, it's ridiculous. They're just sitting on money. Yeah, it's a good stock, Poker Pro. One stock you want to look at, too, is Walmart. FuncoLand. I remember FuncoLand. FuncoLand used to have the little brochure. FuncoLand used to have the little brochure that you would get sometimes. I don't know where you would get them. Sometimes they'd be And I don't know where I would get the brochures, but I would also sometimes see Funkoland ads inside a game magazine that was called Game Pro. And back then in the early 90s, or not early 90s because I was really young, but mid 90s to like late or to early 2000s, there would be like these expos that would come to your city, and there'd be people like who would be selling video games. I've told this story before. And you see them on the commercial, they'd be like, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, games, $9, laptops, $15, you know, and I mean, and people would get, come on down to the sale this Saturday, 9 to 9 or something like that. And everybody would get excited to go to these like little expos at a little center, right? So me being a dumbass, I have at the time a Nintendo 64, and I got like 12 games, bro. 12 games. I had like 12 games. I had, oh man, I had like NBA Live 99. I had Donkey Kong. I had Mortal Kombat Trilogy. I had, gosh, what's that skate? It's a snowboarding game. Pro Snowboard. I think it was like Pro Snowboarding. No, 1080p snowboarding. A whole bunch of different games. I had GoldenEye. Of course, I had GoldenEye. I had a bunch of games. I took all 12 of my fucking games over there like a dumbass young kid, and this guy ripped me a new one. He took all fucking 12 of my games and gave me this crappy piece of shit game called Flying Dragon. It was a bullshit Japanese game where they didn't even bother changing the language. Like some of the language in the game was in Japanese. So it was like a port over. I gave this guy what in hindsight was probably maybe $300 worth of games, and he gave me back a crappy piece of shit game, man. I gave him a whole bunch of games. I gave him Wave Race. I gave him a whole bunch of fucking good games. Yeah, those expos were basically to rip kids off. You know. Oh, I learned that day. What are some augmented reality stock tickers? Yeah, somebody put that in if we. I don't know, Big Zini. I was just young, bro. Just young. Just young. You know. And back then, you didn't really have game reviews, right? The game reviews were in the magazine if you got them. But back in the day, when you bought a video game, unless it was word of mouth, you read the box. You looked at what the box looked like. You read what they say they could do. And this game, Flying Dragon, basically looked like a Dragon Ball Z ripoff. You know, and I'm thinking it's freaking Dragon Ball Z for like Nintendo 64. You know, but it was basically a Dragon Ball Z ripoff. CHK. Oh yeah, I do miss GoldenEye. I miss the GoldenEye sleepovers where you wouldn't even get any sleep, man. Those GoldenEye sleepovers, you would not get sleep. You would not get sleep. CHK 319. I don't know, man. I don't understand CHK. I just feel like, they're the biggest player in the space and you just can't make any money trading this shit. So I left CHK alone. It's just so annoying. What's that guy on Twitter, the guy on YouTube, the guy who basically uses his dad's money to trade? I forgot his name, but I think his favorite play is like NGAS or something like that. One of those ETFs. I forgot their ETF for natural gas, nat gas, right? I think it's like NGAS. Yeah, there it goes. No, I forgot what the US version of that is. Is it like nat gas or something like that? What's the ETF for natural gas? I know somebody in here has it. I can't remember off the top of my head. Okay, D-gas and U-gas. There we go. Thank you. D-gas, yeah, and U-gas. D-gas and U-gas. There it is. All right. God damn, they've been, both of them beat to shit. Yeah, god damn. Yeah, they're both beat to shit. Yeah, natural gas is kind of one of those things where it's like, what's going on? I don't know what's going on. I haven't looked at what the issue there is. U.S. dollar strength, gold and energy will suffer. Yeah, gold is getting killed right now. Dollar will. I was really excited about gold for a couple weeks there when we were riding this trend higher. I'm thinking, oh shit, multi-year breakouts headed our way, and then we broke the trend, and it was good night. I don't know what's going on with it now. Nice little, poor man's recovery there, but I mean, this is clearly headed. And boy, there's a lot of space down here for GLD to come back down. And man, that's ugly. That's going to be an ugly drop if that's the case. If we do see the dollar start to rally, which could be a good thing for companies like CAT, which have been suffering, right? Oh, actually, no, that would actually hurt CAT. Excuse me, that would actually hurt companies like CAT, which is already being affected by the global slowdown. But that would actually make their products more expensive if the dollar starts to, go up in value. They suffer even more during that. And sure, here's CAT, which was an incredible winner in 2017, man. Incredible winner in 2017. Yes, D-gas is the inverse of U-gas. That's correct. Yeah, dust. Yeah, I mean, everyone should take a look at, inverse ETFs. Inverse ETFs are a great way to, particularly if they're liquid. It's a great way. If again you go in, you're able to call a bottom or participate in a nice trend, you can make some good money. Obviously, again, these leverage plays can really hurt you if they don't work out. But nice move for today. Look at that, 3.9% on your money today in DUST, and that's a nice return on again these ETFs that are very, very liquid. For example, like a TVIZ that puts up what, like almost 20 million shares a day, something. TVIX. Yeah, 31 million a day. I mean, boy, at $28 a share, putting up 31 million. It's a lot of trading, and I'm watching TVIX as well too, looking to pop out of that lower area right here, because you can see here at these levels, TVIX is a nice place to be, but I want to see it close above 30.43. Want to see it close above there, but we're getting that higher low. We got that higher low. It's trying to work its way in there. Let's see here. Sometimes the 15-minute. Yeah, I don't see a trend really developing. Let's go to a slightly higher time frame. Hourly. Yeah, we're still not there yet. But kind of like to see it above 30 for me to really trust TVIX. But again, another one of those plays that, again, can really go, and put up $4, $5, $6 very, very quickly a share when things get ugly. TVIX is a very, very powerful mover for a day trader. What's going on, Patrick Lindsay? That's what's up, man. Drive safe. AVID, Avid Energy. Or Avid Technology, excuse me. Avid Technology. Small cap stock. $300 million market cap. Don't know anything about this company. It's labeled as a computer hardware company. I've seen some FANG news in the news feed. I don't know what's going on here, but obviously a stock that's really moved from the fours, now on $3 a share in just a matter of a week and a half on AVID. Nice move, man. Nice move. Let me just take a look at the weekly here and where you are in the bigger picture. All right, so retesting some yearly highs there. Got some issues up there in the 8s, but let's see. So you got some multi-year resistance that you're approaching now. Let's see if you can hang up there and stay up there to get you out of there, because obviously this bad boy can run when given the opportunity, but you know, you got some ceilings ahead of you that you guys need to break through there. Desert Edge, TVIX over SPX? Yeah, absolutely. I'd take TVIX over SPX. I mean, absolutely. I mean, you know, SPX, the only way you really play that for that to make sense for you is options. Yeah, TVIX is boy, just be careful with that, boy, because TVIX is again, if we're all getting faked out here, if this is all ends up being a huge bear trap, you're gonna get your ass handed to you if you're long TVIX. If this ends up being just a big bear trap by this time next week, and we're running, you know, we're running to the exits. All right. No, Matt, I don't have a Discord. I don't have a Discord. Like I told guys, I'm selling the 283s, right? But at the end of the day, my case is clear. I'm going to stay short until I'm pushed out of my position. Bully me out of my position. Bully me out of my position. I want the market to prove to me that you're going to keep running. Because what I'm seeing is a lot of topping signals at these levels. And then when I'm reading great articles, one by, I forgot his name, Cass, what's his first name? Douglas Cass. Douglas Cass, you know, $1 million traders who are writing reports saying, hey, I'm net short. I don't see that the market, you know, is favorable for a continued run to all-time highs. I read what they're saying. What they're saying makes a lot of sense. And I want to continue to be short until I'm proven wrong. Until I'm proven wrong by a strong squeeze higher. You know, bust through. Let me see you get back to 285. And let's get back to 285. Let me see Walmart get back to $100. Let me see Walmart get back to 105. You know, here's Walmart. Walmart, you know, showing a lot of topping behavior. Look, showing like that's tired. You know, I could put up Square. I can put up, well, Square is, you know, whole different. But I could put up Lowe's, right? We look at Lowe's, LOW, another one that I like to talk about a lot. All right, and that was weird because that thing was up too. I'm selling the 108s and Lowe's. Again, that's another stock I wanted to prove itself to me. Also, I had considered Home Depot, selling Home Depot as well, because that one looked even weaker, and that's got way more money on that bone. But Lowe's was cheaper to do. Yes, sir. We talked about those GDP numbers tomorrow, 8:30. Did you hear about Tim Grittani making $8 million in the stock? Man, I don't believe none of those guys no more, man. I don't believe any of those, you know. I don't believe none of that stuff no more. ZBRA. Don't know what that ticker is. I'm going to be curious to see what they. ZBRA 206. down 1%. Absolutely, Dollar Will. Yeah, we're moving into a, well, the last 5 years has been a chart, a chart readers market. It's been a chart readers market, and uh, even more so over the next year. Even more so over the next year, as global growth continues to slow down. But once we finally, God, and I hope it comes soon, we finally get a crash, we finally start selling off, then that's where you're really going to have to, when we get to that bottom, right? That's when you're really going to have to start, getting and looking at these financials and saying, okay, who's going to survive, right? Who's going to be the '09 to 2016? You know what I mean? Who's going to have that kind of move that I can put my money in and and have that Netflix type move, have that Netflix type move, because a lot of guys who are rich today, a lot of guys with gray hair who are rich today, that's basically what they were doing. I mean, they got in, these kind of '09 moves and just kind of, were able to ride that wave. Look at this. I mean, this is Netflix. Who's got the potential to do that? Who's going to be the king of the hill 10 years from now? Let me see here. See, on the week, said it's on the weekly. All right, I know I'm moving the chart a little bit fast here. It's developing. It's developing. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Again, that the bounce was all due to the fact that the Fed decided that they were no longer going to raise interest rates. But now, even as I said on Monday, cheap money isn't working. Even cheap money isn't working. I'm all in Amazon if the crash. Okay. All right. You know what though? I think Amazon fucked themselves when they went after Whole Foods, man. I think Whole Foods is a drag on the Amazon's business. They haven't been the same since they got Whole Foods, man. If you look at the chart and where they acquired Whole Foods and what the stock's been doing, they just haven't been the same company. They haven't been the same company. Anything under 2.94 and we're in the recession, in your opinion? $20. Okay, definitely a bear market. We'll see, man. We'll see. Again, if you're not a millionaire net, $1 million net in your account, you almost have to want to be a bear, because I don't understand how you'd want to be a bull. Why you'd want to, get in at some of the prices some of these stocks are selling for, or available to buy. I want to be a bull when Amazon is $300, $400, $500 less. I'd love to be a bull at that price. I don't want to be a bull at $17.65 Amazon. Let's get real. Get real. Disney bought Fox. That was interesting. Yeah, very interesting move. But wasn't Disney trying to create their own streaming platform? Said we need Black Friday for stocks. Oh, it's coming. Trust me, it's coming. It's coming. We're going to get our Black Friday very, very soon. We're overdue. We're overdue. And these people are they're scared, man. I'm telling you, the wealthy in this country, they're scared because they know it's coming. That's why they're doing, everything possible to manipulate, to, keep rates low. They know it's coming. They know what they did in 2009 didn't solve the problem. They've made the problem even worse. And they'll do everything possible to prevent valuations from going lower, because most of their money and most of their wealth is built into these, insane valuations. They borrow against their accounts. They borrow against for their businesses, right? They borrow against the shares of their stocks. So there's a lot of people's money tied into, this balloon that's got to pop, and that's going to pop. And that's where people like me and you, again, who are not millionaires, can, I'm not going to say become a millionaire, but can become wealthy taking the other side of the trade, because they can't do that. Facebook shares. But let me tell you something. This is how crooked some of these people are. This is how desperate. Let me see if I can let me show you guys this article that came out, and I forgot to show it on Monday. This is how crooked these people are. They're so desperate to keep this going. This is one of the finest universities in the country, right? You got to be incredibly smart or incredibly rich, as we found out not too long ago, to get into these schools. You don't even have to have good grades. You just have to have a parent who's willing to help you cheat. All right, help you cheat to get into these schools. Look at that. They're trying to, Facebook is free, but should it count toward GDP? This is MIT. This is MIT, and they're actually proposing, they're being serious about this, proposing adding GDP, adding Facebook into GDP. Hell no, I'm not a millionaire. Shit, you think I'll be on YouTube? If I had $1 million, I'd be getting head right now, bro. From somebody on Instagram that I'm probably, that's a whole different conversation. Anyway, that's how desperate these people are, to keep the number up. They want to use what they think Facebook is worth in terms of your usage. And in the article, they're saying Facebook is technically worth like $40 to $50 per person. They want to take that $40 to $50, times it by the number of people in America who use it, and add it to the GDP number. That's how desperate these people are. That's how desperate these people are to get to manipulate markets, to manipulate the numbers. I'm telling you, man. And again, this is MIT. This is not, Joe Blow State University. When these type of papers come out of these kind of universities, they're up to no good. They're up to no good. They want to take Facebook usage data and translate it into a number, into real money. All right? That doesn't really exist. It's literally a made up number. These people are fucking evil, man. These people are fucking evil. Money Green say, what happened to McDonald's girl? Working at McDonald's. That's what happened to McDonald's girl. Working at McDonald's. Working at McDonald's. It's being a trader and being somebody that works in front of a computer from home, man. It's a lot. I've talked about that, how a lot of women don't understand the lifestyle. You know what I mean? I had this conversation with the guys on Monday. Oh, you're always in front of the computer. God damn, bitch, every time we go out, you spending the money I make from the computer. Shit. Fuck. But yeah, so I'm figuring out. I had a whole conversation about that on Monday, and I don't want to relive. I'm figuring it all out. So right now I'm just kind of dating and shooting the shit while I wait for the collapse. while I wait for the collapse. Look, eventually I'm going to end up, you know, with a wife and 6 kids eventually. But right now, man, I'm in love with these charts. I'm in love with these charts. He said he got tired of the pussy. I hate it when that happens too, though. That's why I kind of stopped doing that. Because early, you know, I used to do that a lot too. When you meet a girl and you're banging a lot at the beginning, and all of a sudden it's just like, fuck. You know, after a while it's just like you did it too much. You did it to yourself. You know what I mean? You kind of just did it to yourself. So I don't go that hard anymore. Yeah. Definitely positioning myself, man. I wouldn't lie about that. You know, if it were to happen, they can't, you know, no, I wouldn't be able to say that I didn't position myself to make it happen. But boy, man, oh God, I would love a collapse right now, because just like in December, man, I'm just holding some. I got puts that are like $10 beneath current price action. If we can get to that and then keep going, I mean, I had an incredible December, November, and a lot of plays that really made my whole year. He said, wait till you get into your 40s, you'll really be short with the bullshit. Man. Guys in their 40s are the biggest players, though, man. Guys in their 40s are the biggest players. You know, because you guys can afford to do a lot more for women, because many men in their 40s, they're working with even more resources than they are in their 30s. You know. They're working with even more resources. But I do notice guys in their 40s tend to be a little bit more ageist in terms of women. So if they are with a girl, she tends to be pretty young, you know, unless, you know, he may be thinking about marrying her, and then he might get somebody in like her mid-30s or something like that, or early 30s. But if it's a player, he'll go young. 50s, he's at 100s. Hilarious. 20-year view of electrical utility, AES. There was a stock that some of you guys been here long enough. What was the name of that stock that wanted to create like a nuclear? I forgot what the ticker was for that was. But they were basically raising money. It was Hydro something. Anyway, they were raising money to create some hydroelectric thing. I can't remember what their ticker was. Just that comment by Dollar Will brought it to my head. Yes, indeed. Yeah, Moyo Sauce, that's correct. But, you know, again, you know, you got a lot of women out here, you know, who grew up with mothers who had two jobs, right? And out of that experience, they've fallen in love with the corporate narrative, right? Go to school, get a job, dress business casual, and then work your way through a ladder. And a lot of women, you know, believe in that shit. They really, really believe in that shit. And, you know, they'll end up hurting themselves, because a lot of women are just nowhere to be found when it comes time to getting this new way of making money, which is online. A lot of women are really behind the 8 ball when it comes to e-commerce. You know, women for the most part, they're very structural in terms of like, yeah, I'm going to go to school, I'm going to get this job, I'm going to stay here, I'm going to move to this job, and move to this job, move to that job. So when that revolution, that AI move, that you know, mechanization move just kind of rears its head, oh, they're going to get blown out the water. a lot of women are going to end up in the kitchen. And a lot of women don't want to hear that, but that's what's going to happen to a lot of them. Because there are a lot of women doing a lot of jobs that, do we really need, OPTT, a lot of customer service shit, a lot of, those kind of jobs. OPTT. All right, yeah, the ocean. Okay. Yeah, these were the guys who were doing the ocean waves thing, where they had these machines, they using ocean waves to produce energy. And I never was able to really find out if the technology actually works. Well, yeah, you're going to see a lot more women get into the sex trade. We've had that conversation here before. That's why so many women now are on that whole don't shame sex workers. So don't shame those women, right? Because you're going to see, particularly if this recession is more stagflation, where even though you're in a recession, but prices actually go higher, housing instability will be a huge problem. And it's always been a huge problem for women, particularly women with children who live alone. So you're going to see more women than ever in America enter sex work in order to make a living. So you're going to see a legitimization, if that's the right word to use, of sex work. Because a lot of women are going to be like, fuck, this is how I make my living. This is how I make my living. And you're going to accept that. Yeah, liberals are already doing it now. I mean, they're already doing it now. OPTT. Let's see, what else do we have here? You guys remember when this stock went to like 100 one day? SAEX. I think, when was that? It was a long time ago now, but boy, SAEX, it's reverse split so many times, but this was the stock that went to 100 like a couple of years ago. SAEX, it's never really been the same since. Said typhus will be very common after the collapse. It's hilarious. All right. Yes Bank entry. Yes Bank. What's the ticker for Yes Bank? All those regional banks are going to be fucked over because many of their customers are going to be hit hard. KRE is the ticker for the regional ETFs. And as you can see here, boy, look at that, 56 to 50. God damn, I got to start paying attention to KRE. I forgot about it. I mean, of course, you can't, that's the thing about the market, right? There's so many tickers, so much opportunity everywhere. You just can't have your eyes all over the place. Or you're just going to have analysis paralysis. But here's the regional banks, KRE. Here's another one, very liquid, has options. It's been a minute since I've checked the options on KRE, but the spreads were pretty good last I checked. And again, when Bats was talking about on Monday, where this is where you get those $50 stocks, 25 to 50 or 20 to 50, where you can really load up on some cheap options, relatively inexpensive. And when these things move, I mean, they really move. You'll get a 30-40% pop in these options in a day, depending on how aggressively the underlying moves. All right, KRE. That's the regional banks. And of course, you can look inside what's in KRE. Many of those, of course, have their own ticker symbols. Obviously, the SunTrust of the world. I forgot the ticker for SunTrust. Let me look at STI. Okay, yeah, STI. Right. So instead of going individual, you can go with KRE. Obviously, basically blanketing the movement of STI and many other stocks. And STI is inside KRE without the single stock risk. Yeah, but all of these companies are going to lose big time when things start slowing down, because they're really going to take the brunt as Many of their customers go bankrupt. Many of these customers go 60, 90, 120 days late on bills. Many of these companies also too actually service their own mortgages, right? So they'll have customers who go late on that. So they really feel it when things turn around in a bad way. No, I did not short DB. I did not short DB. When Deutsche Bank started happening, December of 2017, I wasn't as into options as I am now. But going into 2018, I wasn't. I mean, I knew of it. Of course, we had Connor here on the show to really introduce us to it. He said, "Hey, man, I know you love penny stocks, but I want to, talk to you about this option shit and how you could, move 500, 1,000, 2,000, and double, triple, and do the same thing without having to wait." All right. So, but obviously, yeah, here's Deutsche Bank, as you can see here, since 2017. I mean, January 8, 2018, right? Going into January 2018. I mean, boy, what a winner. Winner on a basic moving average strategy. You said, don't understand why the bank invests in the stock market. The bank have plenty of money. Well, because they are still they're publicly owned. They still have, they have owners too. A bank is a business. A bank constantly has to generate money, generate revenue. And if you understand our fractional reserve banking system, then you understand that many of these banks have obligations far larger than what they actually have in cash under management. So they constantly have to be making money because they don't know one day everybody could just show up and say, "Hey, I want my money." Now, of course, they hope to God that never happens. All right, so they constantly have to be trying to make money to stay at a certain rate because they're constantly borrowing money, literally making money out of thin air. That's basically what banks do. Making money out of thin air. When your bank gets your deposit from work, they literally 10x that and lend that to other people who put in their bank, and their bank 10x that, and they 10x that, and they 10x that. So it's a chain, man. So you got all that money out there in your bank. You need to also put your money at work too. That, that 6%, that 4% that you got on that mortgage up the street, that's not going to cut it. So banks have trading desks. They've got Forex trading desk. They got all that. Yeah, banks are also, yeah, that's true. Banks are also insured. All right, they also are insured. So there's more incentive for them to even take more risk a lot of times. And after what happened in 2009, it's like, fuck it. The government's going to save us. You can make a lot more money in the short term. Okay, yeah, got it. Of course. That's the hard part, LK Ra. Hardware, media equipment, propeller head, okay. Someone talked about BRZU, and they got that like wannabe Trump president out there in Brazil. Boy, BRZU, good Lord. Shit, what happened to BRZ? What's going on in Brazil? I haven't been following. But obviously, again, all these developing nations, and Brazil is definitely a developing nation. I wouldn't call them a developed nation. Poverty is just insane in Brazil, boy. Insane levels of poverty there. They're victims to what's going on globally. Man, the global slowdown is real. You had Italy come out today and revise their GDP numbers. That's Italy and many other countries. Europe is basically just in no man's land. Europe has nothing going for itself right now. They've been basically, nowhere to be found over the last 10 years in terms of just technology, and asset man. They've been basically nowhere to be found. They've been nowhere to be found. I remember when people used to say Rothschilds. They used to say Rothschilds more than they used to say Goldman Sachs. Now it's all Goldman Sachs. Nobody says Rothschilds anymore. Remember, there were like DVDs that came out. The Rothschilds this, the Rothschilds that. Nobody even says Rothschilds anymore. Nobody's even afraid of these people. Obviously, they're still in play and they're still, running things. But where have they been? Yeah. Fascism is the only way now for the wealthy to keep the system going. Oh man, let's not hope that. Let's not hope for that. Let's see here. What else we got here? Weibo. No. I don't have any Baba traders in here either, right? I don't know. Nobody here is in Baba. Baba is another one too that could be coming down here. Yeah, nobody here really talks about Baba, but Baba is another one. Doesn't have the cheapest options in the world, but it's another one here that looks to be turning over here as well. All right, so a few more tickers before we get out of here. A few more tickers before we get out of here. Houston Construction, steel. I got to give it to the steel stocks. I mean, because before Trump's presidency, they were dead, man. They were dead. And steel, I mean, he basically brought steel back to life. Let's see, this is a coal, but coal. Is this pure coal? I thought it's a steel company. More here. Oh, so they're okay. Is it coal or steel? Expiration. Warrior Coal. I don't know why they got it listed as both here. But anyway, what I said on steel, still applies. He basically brought steel back to life. Yeah, we had a whole show on the yield curve on Monday. We had a guy bring up TLT today. So TLT, that's another way to play the yield curve. BKLN, I just put that in there as well. I made a whole video about that. But we're very, very well aware, Steven, about how things are turning around and the big money is moving, smart money rather, is moving to safer long-term securities. So you need Trump to end the trade war with China. Well, I think the trade war at this point is priced in, man. They pumped the shit out of the trade war. I give it to them, man. They ran on that for like 6 months. And you guys know we used to have shows here where, literally the day ran on, yes, China backing Chinese, government officials back in the United States to talk trade war. Up 1.5% today. Like, what the fuck is going on? Shorting the market is also playing the yield curve. Absolutely. And if I'm proven wrong, I'm proven wrong. Let them prove me wrong. Let them prove us wrong, whether you be DIA, SPY, or what. Shit, maybe the number tomorrow is going to be amazing and we have an incredible day. And then fine, I got to take an L. I'll take the L. At least I had the balls to go short. We'll take the L. We'll sell, and then shit, fuck it, we'd have to go long. It'd be slow as fuck. It'll be slow, and we'll go higher and higher. We all won't know why. but we'll do it because you got to respect the trend, right? You know, look at the chart. The fast money is clearly to the downside. You guys have pulled up some of these tickers. You know, somebody pull up that DXCM or whatever that was. Was that DXCM? Yeah, you know, that's where the money's at, man. Look at that. Shit. Not saying up ain't, you know, ain't money either, but looking for a short NEE. I'm long the market for now, just playing the yield. How is being short the market playing the yield curve? Well, you're taking an early bet, because again, the yield curve or an inverted yield curve is supposedly a sign that obviously the market is slowing down and a possible recession could be developing. So going short now is an early bet that you feel that maybe we haven't necessarily topped out, but we are definitely going to be slowing down, and things aren't going to get better than they are now for the rest of the year. And that's not me saying that. There's dozens of articles that you can read on CNBC right now saying the same thing. They're saying the same thing. Let's take a look at NEE. Somebody's bringing up NEE. Nextera Energy. Hey, I don't know about this, man. This looks like a cash cow right here. You know, $93 billion market cap. Why short this? Is this? I don't know. I've never heard of this company, Nextera Energy. Probably should, but is this a utility? You know, those utilities are cash cows. And during recessions, they actually are great, you know, stocks to own because, again, you know, well, especially particularly if you're rich, because, again, they do pay a dividend. You know, they've got bonds with great grades on them. So they got actually great trades to have. You know, we're looking for, you know, I just stick to the crappy companies. You know, stick to the companies that aren't profitable but have been able to use our low interest rate environment to survive. You know, Grubhub, Wayfair, you know, crap companies like that. You know, companies with no PE ratios. I mean, these, you know, companies like this, and there are a ton of them. There are a ton of them out there. And I think on the next episode, I'm going to present a list of stocks like that, you know. Stocks like Shopify. You know, Shopify is another one, but be very careful of this because the float is like Nazi controlled, you know, over there at Shopify. OSTK is another one, you know. But this one, gosh, I missed the opportunity in that one. This is another one, as you can see here, back in January 2018. All right, another one of those companies that again, no PE ratio, losing money. Couldn't figure out how to get it together, and now basically running on fumes. OSTK. A lot of people lost a lot of money on this stock, but a lot of people made a lot of money on it too. What else? I mean, there are a ton of companies like that. That you can take advantage of. I wouldn't say PayPal. I'd go with their weaker rival, which is Square. I'd go after their weaker rival, Square. Yeah, I wouldn't go after PayPal. PayPal is a little... Yeah, but there are a ton of those companies out there. Yeah, hit that like button. I appreciate that. Hit that like button. And this is another stock that I've been following too. I mean, this is another one that, you know, We got some of that topping going on here in Square as well. Bearish divergence, John. On monthly chart, okay. Going way out there on that, huh? Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, I see what you're saying now. All right. Yeah, still, obviously, yeah. I mean, you could take the risk here. All right, but I mean, obviously, a monthly chart is a you're gonna have to be patient with it. You know, you're gonna have to be patient with it. Oh, it's close though. Even on the weekly, it's close. The weekly is giving the sell signal at 70.10. It's 70.10. I don't know how long you've been here, John, but I love shorting stocks below the 25 moving average. You know, I love shorting stocks below the 25 moving average. It's a high probability trade. It's a high probability trade. And pull up any ticker you want, put up to 25, and put a short there. And yes, there's sometimes you're going to get squeezed out, but there's sometimes where you made a lot of money if you went in there at that time. Monthly, weekly, and daily. Yeah, John, I like the weekly, how that's setting up on the weekly. Of course, daily as well. CB, Chubb, insurance company. Yeah, this is another cash cow. You know, the whole lot of money sitting on all these insurance companies are all loaded. I mean, insurance companies are basically set to be cash rich. Every time the market is down, they mention trade war deal, there's a pop, and absolutely. And they're going to do it as well, LK Ron, with this. I mean, if we start to see a slowdown, you know, you'll hear China start coming back into the news. You'll hear China come back into the news again. It's like clockwork, man. It's like clockwork. They've already done it to us. You know, they've already done it to us. It's in the chart already. They already did it to us. You know, not too long ago. You know, that was a Fed conversation where the Fed came out. I think it was the day before, where they brought the Fed to come in and basically say what everybody already knew, that they weren't going to raise interest rates, and that we're basically going to be at zero forever. In fact, what Peter Schiff is saying, that he believes that next year we could actually see a rate cut because we're just above zero. So he could end up, he's saying we're going to end up seeing a cut that would bring us back to zero. Can you imagine? That's how sad it is. That you know, we've got companies now that just can't even run, can't operate, you know, on a fair value for money. You know, because some guys just don't want to play fair, man. They don't want to take a loss. What happened here in January, what happened here in October, November, that's business. That's the stock market. That's what is supposed to happen. When the economy gets hot, the Federal Reserve comes out, raises interest rates, and companies adjust accordingly. But we had a class of people who feel that, you know, general market dynamics or you know, how markets have traditionally operated, how money management has traditionally operated, how the Federal Reserve has traditionally operated, shouldn't apply. And we should just keep going at the rate we're going, you know. And they've been able to manipulate the game, man. Oh, yeah, it's tax cuts as well. And these tax cuts have really fucked up a lot of people, you know. A lot of people, and some of you guys in the chat room might be some of them, your tax returns are smaller this year than they've ever been. You know, the whole deal was sold to you. What was sold to you wasn't exactly what you got. I say if you were smart enough, you would have bought every single dollar you had on the dip. You would be rich now. Oh yeah, I mean obviously, sure. If we could, hindsight is always 2020 though, man. Hindsight is always 2020 though. I mean, I remember looking at the chart back in December, the day before Christmas, just like everyone else, and saying, "Good Lord, this is it." But I was rolling. I was rolling in dough, bro. I had been waiting for it all year, you know. So for me, the idea of going back long wasn't even it wasn't even a consideration. What? Go back long? This is the beginning of the end. Why would I want to go long? Right? So, you know, I'm not mad at myself because that's not even a thought I would have had at the time. You know, obviously now, you know, using moving averages and stuff that, again, I've known since the beginning, but just never took seriously or never decided to apply. It would have clearly shown on the 10 moving average that the short-term trend had changed and it was time for me to go long with the trade. Now, eventually I figured that out, but that's not what I would even have thought to do back in December. And not many people did. Smaller for us, for businesses, they are doing awesome. Okay. It said it came and we all hesitated. A lot of traders hesitate. A lot of traders hesitate. But you know what? What will stop you from hesitating? And what I learned, you will stop hesitating when you start taking smaller trades. A lot of guys hesitate, and I was hesitating when I first got into options because I was taking trades that were too big. So when I would watch a trade that I meant to keep on for 2 weeks, it would go against me in the first like hour and a half, and I'd be like, fuck, I'm down $225. I'm out. And I'm like, what the fuck? This was like a $7,500 trade that I meant to keep on for a month and a half, or a couple weeks. And $200 and something got me scared out of the trade after an hour. And what would come to find out is that I'd end up being right because the direction would eventually go my way. Well, because my initial position, my initial size into the trade was too big. If I would have gradually got in, even if it was freaking just 5 contracts, all right, or just an amount that was like, I could lose that money, that's fine, I'd be all right with that. You know what I mean? That trade could have been something different. It could have ended up being different, you know, for me. All right? So fuck it. Try one contract, dude. Try an amount that won't fuck with your head to begin with. You know, again, I had to understand that I'm playing the long game. You know, stop trying to compete with people who make $25,000 a day or tell you they're making $25,000 a day, but then still want to turn around and sell you a $89 course. You know, I had to get that out of my mind. I had to disassociate myself with that kind of behavior and understand that you know, I'm trying to develop a livelihood. All right. And that requires me getting base hits. You know, I'm going to say it the same way, man. Mark McGwire was an incredible baseball player, but so was Ichiro. Ichiro didn't hit homers, you know what I mean? But they both delivered, right? I mean, they both had careers that delivered. Same game, different styles. All right. And that's what I was like, shit, I like the Ichiro game. I like the Ichiro game. You know, 2,500 here, 2,000 there, 900 there, 700 there, 300 here. You know, I might not have a $10,000 day, might not have a 15K day. But yeah, keep it consistent. It's a 1K minimum trades. If we lose it all, do it. Okay, that's what's up, man. Yeah, that's swing trading for you. All right. So, guys, big day tomorrow, man. Big day tomorrow. Gosh, I just hope we get a really conclusive number. Either way, I want it to be either really good or really bad. I just don't want another day of like, we don't really know what's going to happen. I just want the market to go, to go up or down. The sideways, which is starting here. I mean, this is just a nightmare. But again, I've moved into selling options right now because I think we could very well trend for a little while and then break lower. Or maybe we get an amazing number and you're going to start seeing CNBC sell the idea that America is immune to what's going on outside of the world. They already put people on stage that prop that view up. They've started to do that this week. I've noticed that. And as I said, you can't go on those shows if you're a bear. You get banned. So they get people who are flimsy bears who go in there and say maybe we'll end up going lower. Maybe things aren't as good. But they don't get the guy. They don't get Peter Schiff on there. He's been banned for 2 years. He's been banned off CNBC, and now going on 2 years because you had people who basically were saying that he was scaring traders. Literally, they were saying that he was scaring traders. So they banned him off that network. That's why he hasn't been on similar. He hasn't been on since. Checking out the option education and tasty trade. Okay. Said you love Peter. I love him too. I love him too. He's totally wrong on gold, but I love him too. I think he's totally wrong on gold. I think gold definitely has its part to play in the economy. I definitely believe it's undervalued, but he thinks gold is just basically like, going to be what everybody has in their hand in order to survive the apocalypse. And that's just not what's going to happen. The dollar is here to stay. Nothing else comes close. Whether you're in Burundi, Colombia, anywhere in the world, if there's one thing you're going to want to have in your hand, it's one currency. It's going to be the US dollar. Period. There's no other currency that comes close. Homeless guy, anywhere in the world, will take $1 before he takes his own currency. Let me see here. Checking out, definitely check out. Yeah, Tasty Trade is awesome, man. Tasty Trade is awesome. Really conservative though. I mean, their option trading strategy over there is really conservative, but it's definitely going to help you. Definitely going to help you. They had a 60-day option trading selling strategy where it's like you go 60 days out, you sell the option for 30 days, and then you sell it for 50% of the premium. And granted, that's great, but dude, you're going to sit around for 30 days? And don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It's a high probability trade. It works a lot of the time, but unless you've got a shitload of cash, it doesn't make sense. So you got to come in a lot closer, and you're gonna have to move in and do something like a 2-week or maybe a 1-month option selling strategy where you go out 30 days and maybe you sell 15 days in. You do something like that, or you can go ultra risky and go 2 weeks out and do something, and sell 2 weeks out. But then again, sometimes it's not enough meat on the bone for a 2 week. But, there are some that they do have quite a bit. Yeah, 40. Yeah, there you go, Blue Cousin. Yeah, 45 days, 60-day, whatever. I mean, it's a winner. It's like a 90% winner. But again, unless you're sitting on 25K in that position, it's just like, God damn. 45 days, 30 days. Yeah, trade small, trade often. They had a show called that. And we just got done talking about that position. Yeah, monthly. Yeah, there you go, Steven, generating that monthly income. Generating that monthly income. XAU to USD. Sure, I mean, dude, if internet was good outside of the country, I'd definitely be there, man. But because it makes perfect sense for me to take my show outside of America and lower my costs drastically. But God damn, I don't know how these people live out there, like Peter Schiff, and be so away from their families and doing all that type of stuff. I don't know how guys do that. John Hill, you said gold might be the play. We're going into an inflationary recession. Yeah, but man, I would just love if the chart looked a lot better than this, though, John. I showed this chart earlier. I wouldn't mind it if the chart looked a lot better than what I'm seeing here. Not saying we can't very well, continue to go higher, but boy, that's an ugly looking chart right here. Someone at your job quit to trade stocks. I told them how much you need to make, and they said they already there. I hope to follow them off the plantation soon. Good luck to them, man. Good luck to them. At the beginning, it's all about really just controlling your cost. It's really about just controlling your cost. And option selling has definitely become a large part of my monthly income. And get into those trades you just aren't going to happen. I pulled up ADSV earlier. I mean, this is just, it's ridiculous what's going on here. Again, shout out to that promoter. Shout out to that promoter. Yeah, we pulled up AVGR earlier too. Yeah, we looked at all these tickers. Nice move on this one. This is another one, right? Pull up that 25 moving average. We saw it hugging, looking so nice as that moved out of there. You've made 700% on your money from those lows. 700% on your money. I wouldn't go into it now. I wouldn't go in it now. Just look at it as congratulations to the guys who are already in it. As you see now, you got a bit of resistance. You got some guys looking for the exits. It's a nice day today, but you're clearly looking. You're clearly a bit tired here at these higher levels. But man, my thing is like, you don't have to quit your job. If you got a good job, man, if you got a good job, and if you have a good job, keep your job. 9 times out of 10, you can trade on your job. You got a cell phone, you can set your alerts, automatic purchases. Most brokers, they've got everything you need to set your own trade triggers to activate. I got positions that will that will activate themselves once they cross the 25 moving average. It'll just activate the trade. Boom. The stop loss has already been set in the trade and everything. So, but if you got a shitty job, where you're not learning anything, the ROI is relatively low. It's either like far from home, or it's just barely keeping you afloat, and you kind of got the side hustle that's like basically almost there, and then you got some thinking to do. Where can I if I rewired my attention to this other thing, could I generate enough income where, losing this job wouldn't matter? So most people would love to work. Yeah, I mean, if you got like a fucking federal job or a state job, and you don't really do shit anyway, because most of those guys don't really do shit, just keep getting the check until it just doesn't make sense. Now, if you get to a point where it just doesn't make sense, you get that good, then But why not just keep collecting a check, making your account bigger? Say it's safe on the porch, but no fun. That's true too. But Dollar Will, it's not no fun being homeless either. I have a corporate job, but they slave drive you there. It's all about numbers. Yeah, I can't do sales. I don't know if it's a sales job or what, but can someone say deflation? After the big slide, gold will be great. XAU USD, the 900 area. I believe it. Yeah, I can see gold rising. Happy birthday to you, Dollar Will. I didn't see that tweet. Happy birthday to you if it's your birthday today. I can't even sleep, bro. I'm just looking. I can't wait till this damn number comes out. And I'm watching Asia right now. When I started the show, we were 13 points lower in the futures. Now it's up 7. Because I already know, you guys know how. I forgot what the call is. The team, Plunge Protection Team. There he goes. Plunge Protection Team is going to buy it up. Because they always do. Plunge Protection Team always steps in to prevent the rich from losing. So right now we're just 7 over, or 7 lower, 7 points lower. Still hanging at 2,800. Probably gonna grab some sleep here in a bit, but goddamn, there's no reason why the markets aren't 24/7, man. I mean, we live in a 24/7 world. And the only reason it's not 24/7 is the fact that you got, stocks, of course, that can't be manipulated. You can't manipulate them relatively low when there's low volume. The bots can't run during low volume. That's why we can't run 24 hours. That's basically the only reason. The job still most limited income available. The market has unlimited income potential. Absolutely. Absolutely, pursuit of freedom. I 100% believe you. The stock market is the only place where you can literally learn information on Monday and turn that into money in your bank account by Friday. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like it. I've had guys come on this show and tell me a stock on a Monday night, and I have turned that into $500, $1,000, $1,500 in my account. Literally the next day. There's nothing. I don't know another business out there like that where you can do that on some legal type shit. Said Bitcoin's Bitcoin's at 24%. There was a report recently that came out too that Bitcoins were, a lot of the trading was fake or something like that. But that could be some hater propaganda as well. Friday arrives too soon for traders. Doesn't it always, dude? Doesn't it always? And then on Friday is always the day you got some like really great trading idea. And then the market's about to close. And you're like, fuck. It's always like that, dude. The main thing about a job is health benefits. Yeah, that's true, Money Green. It's very, very true. I'm afraid I'm going to lose my Obamacare now with Trump talking the way he's talking, because I actually really did like that Obamacare shit. It was, for me, it was like $77 a month, and you know, basically I pay myself nothing out of my corporation, so I'm making myself look poor as fuck. But I had healthcare insurance, so now I'm I'm a little bit like, what's going to happen if he really tries to get rid of that thing? Because I like the fact that I was able to buy from the exchange. Said you hate Fridays. Those are cliffhangers. Yeah, it's always like that. Fridays are always cliffhangers, particularly on an up day. Blue Cousin, yeah, I trade through a corporation. I got incorporated. Yeah, I've been there for years. I don't know. I just feel like it was. Is it better than trading for self? Yes, because there's a lot of things I can write off. You can write off your losses as an individual anyway. I mean, you can too, but there are other things I can write off, particularly my home office. So the home office I can write off. I can write off my cell phone. I can write off, that's under a business account. My car is under the business account. There are a lot of things that I put on under the business, and I pay myself from the business. So everything is like, hands off. It's not me individually. Bitcoins will go up soon. I believe that. Yeah, go get yourself a little $150 corporation. Get yourself incorporated. Your broker won't change anything besides the way he sends your tax forms. Yeah, get that LLC. I mean, at Interactive Brokers, you get when you trade under a corporation, you get an individual person that you get to call with your trades and stuff like that. So there are little perks depending on your broker. If you got a full service broker, there are little things perks you get when you're trading through a company, because they think that you're some kind of big shot or whatever, so they give you a little bit of special perks or whatever. But at the same time too, at the beginning when I was into that, I was also into like building business credit and stuff like that. But that shit is expensive, man. I started getting, like, I got the gas card, and then you start getting some of the credit cards. Once you get your DUNS number, and I got a video here on my channel too on how to get your DUNS number for free. Is if you try to, I don't know, I forgot what the video, I explained it in the video. It's been almost 2-3 years ago now. But, that business credit is not cheap, man. Even if you get a $10,000 line of credit, $25,000 line of credit at the beginning, that shit is like, it's like 25%. Something. It's something ridiculous. Like, maybe not that high, but it's something up there where, it's like you got to be really careful with how you use that. You got to be really careful with how you use that. Alan West, is LLC good for dividend investors? I don't know how that would not be good for dividend investors, but then again, I'm not a tax professional, so you might want to ask your tax professional. Stephen. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, Steven, I got that like 2 years ago. I got that like 2 years, almost 2 years ago. Yeah. They don't call it trader status. They call it trader tax service. Trader tax status, TTS. So are you TTS, or can I? How can you help me qualify for TTS, trader tax status? And it's not easy to get, but it's not hard to get either. You basically just have to have a year where you show basically you didn't make no other income any other way. That's basically, the gist of it. And again, get yourself a local tax guy who can explain, who can help you, figure that paperwork out. Yeah, it is. It is nice. You just, it is pretty nice. It is pretty nice. This country is truly owned by people who, like, in that movie Wall Street, when they talked about, Gordon Gekko talked about guys who, create nothing, right? They basically trade and own real estate. This country, the financials are set up to benefit people who trade securities, who are in the securities industry, or are in the real estate business. I mean, it is truly set up to benefit these individuals. And whether you are doing it on a large scale or a very, very small scale, you are more well off in terms of keeping your money or writing off your losses than somebody who works a 9 to 5 for somebody else. You're far and ahead, far away better than them. America was truly built for people who are willing to take risk takers, entrepreneurs, small business people. The tax plan is set up for them to win, or to help them win, because the government can't guarantee you a victory, but they definitely work to get out of your way. They work to get out of your way. Right? And that's why America is the greatest place to invest. That's why people all over the world, when they get rich, they put their money in America. SOLO, solo, nah, not my kind of stock, man. Definitely not my kind of stock. I see the liquidity started to kind of come in, but I mean, it's just definitely not my kind of play. I don't know what's going on here. It looks like it just recently started getting really active. What type of name is that? Electramica? Yeah, definitely not my kind of play. Love to see a little bit more consistent chart history than that. I have no idea what's going on. It looks like an OTC stock the way that's set up. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, LK Ra. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, a 5K a month trader is better than a 5K a month employee. By far. Oh, by far. By far. Yes, indeed. Let's see what else everything's going on. Shout out to the people in here. I got 44 people watching. Shout out to all you traders, man. I know I've been showing up on the show pretty late. I gotta have a Saturday show probably just to catch up with some people who can't stay up too late with me. I feel like we're missing a ticker or something that I should be talking about, but I'm on equity feed right now and I don't see anything that strikes my attention too much. Since my Monday show, it's really again been very much a sideways week. Again, we've talked about how traders are just really waiting for tomorrow, and tomorrow's really going to dictate the next, 3.5 months, 4 months, and how we move. Of course, along with what happens with China, of course, the continued slowdown internationally, in India and Europe, across South America. We've got a lot of stocks that are going to be correcting, doing some major correcting over the next 60 to 120 days. We got a lot of stocks like that. Let's see here. Did you see, we talked about Shaquille O'Neal earlier. Did you guys see Shaquille O'Neal sign up to be a Papa John spokesman? Shaquille O'Neal, man, I don't know if he's like running out of money or he just loves just to be a figurehead or what. I mean, does he, is he still on child support or something? Because Shaquille O'Neal is just, I mean, I'm all about get your money, right? Get your money, sure, make your money. But then there's a point where you just like a clown to me. You're just like, are you like economically unstable or what's going on? Like, because Shaquille O'Neal I don't know. I mean, for a guy who made over $100 million playing basketball, running, to this, and then he's selling like ring, and then he's selling suits, and then he's selling pizza, and then he's like insurance, and I'm like, are you all right? Are you okay, man? Like, are you out of money? Like, is you really moving like somebody who's like didn't play for damn near 15 years in the NBA and wasn't one of the most highest paid athletes in the league? You had like your own shoe at Walmart where you made like $3 on every pair that was sold, and you sold like hundreds of millions of pairs of shoes. You guys remember he had his own shoe, the Shaqs, which by the way are like collector's items now. He had his own thing. Pizza had been popped on that news, by the way. So I don't know what's going on with him on that aspect. Yeah, we talked, Amy. Yeah, what's going on, Amy? We talked a little Tesla. Earlier. Somebody brought up Lululemon. I don't know when active gear or yoga pants will go out of style. Eventually they will, though. You can't wear yoga pants forever. Eventually Lululemon will have to give some of all that gain back. I mean, they've basically gotten to that valuation selling yoga pants, for about a year and a half or so. Every woman wanted to show her ass in some yoga pants. But jeans are slowly, as you see here with the Levi's going public and stuff like that. So I'm starting to see that cool down a little bit. All right. A couple other stocks I want to bring up before I get out of here. KMX. CarMax is another one that's kind of up there. Could be taking a lead. Could be taking a hit if the economy slows down. It's already been pretty slow since October. All right. It's probably this is another one of those companies that's probably too cash rich, but a lot of companies out there that could be correcting. All right. So let me get out of here, folks. So many tickers to talk about. We can be here all night. You guys know it. We can be here all night. Keep trading, keep investing, keep making money. Keep trying to make great decisions with your capital. I'm sure I'll see you. I'm thinking about again doing a, if not Saturday, probably Sunday show. But then again, I like this Monday, Wednesday at night thing because it's real chill. Real chill. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me here. I appreciate all of you guys who like to watch the show. You guys know I clearly don't do this for the views. Just my passion for this game, man. This beautiful, beautiful game. MU is another one here. It's already just 3 times earnings, bro. That means that stock is cheap as fuck. Yes, indeed. LK Rob, appreciate you. Thank you, Blue Cousin. I appreciate you, bro. All the other people who are in the chat room tonight, I appreciate you guys. Dollar Will, Steven Burrell, appreciate you. Poker Pro. I like that Lululemon call. I actually like that, man. It's very low risk. If I pull it back up, you know, it's a pretty low risk trade up here, though. You know, let's see if it can keep going, man. Let's see if it can keep going. Obviously, very much a cyclical business. 41 or 43 times earnings. So definitely not a cheap stock. But definitely a lot of opportunity for somebody who can, you know, look at possibly a spread trade. Because this is definitely a mover. It's either going to keep going or it's going to break down really bad. Yes, indeed. I appreciate you, Kelly Rob, man. Hey, Kelly Rob, are you still in Bat's Discord? Because I know I asked Bats about his Discord on Monday, and I was like, "Are you still managing it?" And he said yes or no, but I don't know if he's still going hard at it. I know at the beginning he was going pretty hard, but are y'all still going hard in that Discord or not really? You trade solo now? Yeah. Eventually, that's what guys do. I mean, you're gonna do the group thing, but eventually you're going to just develop your own way of managing your money. And that's just the natural progression of trading. So that's why this show is more or less just for an overview, and everybody's got their own style. Appreciate you, Patrick Lindsay. Yes, indeed. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Check out my sponsors, Black Box Stocks, that US equity feed. Of course, if you need a chart program, TradingView is always free of charge. There's always a pro version as well. You can take advantage of tradingview.com. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen. He said, I miss Bass. He was a cool cat. Yeah, he's still around, bro. He was here on Monday. He's still around. And, of course, on Twitter. He posts on Twitter all the time. So follow him on Twitter, Bat Scientist, @Bat Scientist. So check him out. He's always around to help. All right. Because I know for a while he was doing like individual sessions with traders where if you tell him to call you, he'd call you and, you know, kind of help you with your game a little bit. All right. LK Rob, good night, sir. Make money stocks trading. Appreciate you, Mr. Cool Millie. Pursuit of Freedom. Who else was here? Money Green. Appreciate you, Money Green. John Hill. Earl Shipley. All my truckers. Trump Army of Kentucky. Desert Edge. I like to make sure I give everybody the shout out they deserve. I never get alerts for your show, and I have them on. Man, I don't know what's going on with that. I've had guys tell me that. But yeah, bro, I go on. Yeah. It's indeed, man. Shout out to Bat Scientist. All right, guys. Until next time, trade well.